All right, let's tackle this next equation here. And what we see is solving for x, we are looking at 7x equals 273. So regardless, everybody, what we have to do with solving any equation is we're trying to see what operations we're looking at going forward so we know what to do backwards. So everybody go ahead, call it out. When I'm looking at this with my eyes, what operation is currently happening between the 7 and the x? What am I observing happening with my own eyes? Yeah, I am currently looking at multiplication. When you have 7 and x together, that's 7 times x. So the next question you want to ask yourself, this is how we build that confidence, is what's the opposite of multiplying by 7? That's going to be dividing. But you want to make sure you make a very good habit of saying divide by 7 on both sides. Again, emphasizing that last part, on both sides. It's very easy to accidentally forget to do it on both sides, and then you do more work than you need to. But nonetheless, we cancel out the 7s, and we're left with x equals whatever that division is. So we can go ahead and use long division, and we can also use a little bit of mental math, which in my case, in this case here, I'd prefer to use mental math because I see a very good pattern. Everybody, when I look at 273, let me show you something pretty neat. 273, 27, pretty close to 21. Everybody, if I look at 210, can you tell me, do you know if 7 goes into 210? Just give me a yes or a no. I don't need to know what it actually is. Yeah, because 7 can go into 21. So 210, very good. Now answer me this, everybody. If I go ahead and pull out the 210, what's left to make 273? What is left? I pulled out 210, so if we take that 21 away, we're left with 6 and then 3, right? So answer me this. Is 63 also divisible by 7? Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to pause right here because I'm actually going to go ahead and do the long division here and show you exactly what this actually means. Because if you're not used to mental math, you're probably looking at this saying, what are you doing, right? So let me actually just do this right here, and I'll show you exactly how this comes to be. Everybody help me out. How many times does 7 go into 27? That's going to be 3. Okay, so follow along. 7 goes into 27 3 times. Because 3 times 7, that's 21. If we subtract the 21, like long division tells us to, 27 minus 21, that gives us 6. Now from here, we're going to drop down that 3, and then we ask ourselves, how many times does 7 go into 63? And that's going to be 9. So we'll write that down right over there, minus 63, and there's no remainder. So boom, we have our answer. The answer is 39. We're good, but I want to make sure you understand how this mental math works. Because what I noticed from this 273, everybody, was that, hey, if I just split it up into a multiple of 7, 210, which is the same thing as 21 with a 0 at the end, I realized we would have 63 left. It's no different than one we see over here. 210, and then 63 right here. It is really no difference. 210, that's 30. 63, that's 9. Take a look right over here. Everybody, help me out. How many times does 7 go into 210? Yeah, that'd be 30. And how many times does 7 go into 63, everybody? Yeah, that'll be 9. Now I only have one question for you to answer to make this all make sense, everybody. What is 30 plus 9? Oh, look at that, 39. Same exact answer, but I was only inviting you to look at it in the way of mental math. If this didn't make total sense for you, no worries. If you understood that we just needed to divide both sides by 7, again, that's really all you needed to be successful. The mental math was just the extra step. So with that, the correct answer here is answer choice A. As long as you know that you need to divide both sides by 7, you're good. All right, let's tackle this problem here. It's very short, but it can be complex if you don't read carefully. So let's start with the question sentence. What is the total trim needed in yards? All right, everybody. So 2 things I'm going to identify. What we want is the total trim, and what we're looking for it in is in yards. 2 very important things. We're identifying the goal and the format of the goal, the units that we're supposed to present it in. So now that we know this, we want the total trim in yards. Take a look. Take a look at your information. We see here a fabric roll project requires 4 sections of trim. Okay, we need 4 sections of trim, and each section is 6 feet long. Now, everybody, help me out. I'm going to highlight these in green. 4 sections, and each section is 6 feet long. So, everybody, if we're trying to get the total, think about the word each. If we're trying to get the total when we're given the word each, are we multiplying or dividing? Yeah, we're multiplying to get that grand total. So that's number 1, right? Number 1 is we have the 6 feet per section, or for each section. And then what we'll do is multiply that by the 4 sections. And once we do that, everybody, 6 times 4, that's 24. Awesome. But tell me, everybody, what are the units of that 24 so far? What are those units? Yeah, the current units that we have, that's feet, everybody. That's feet. This was 6 feet per section. So the 24 that we have here, this is 24 feet. So based off of what we read earlier, something that we might have possibly, potentially, maybe read earlier, everybody, are we in the units that we need? We're not. We're not. We have 24 feet. We want yards. So the simple question to correct ourselves, right? To get back on track, the simple question is, what do we multiply or divide feet by to get yards? What do we do? Yeah, I see a lot of us saying 3 in the chat box. You're correct. But is that multiplication or division? You tell me. Let's write that out. We have 1 yard equals 3 feet. Tell me, everybody. I saw some folks saying multiplication earlier, but you're backtracking that now, right? Because if you multiply by 3 from here, you get 1 answer. If you divide by 3, you get another answer. So which one is it going to be, right? I tricked you with 24, and I also tricked you with another answer here. But if you take a look, we start from the small unit, and we're going to the big unit. So what do we do, everybody? What is it again? Multiplication or division? If we're starting from the smaller unit and we're going to the bigger unit, yeah, we're dividing. And we're dividing by that conversion rate. So with that, boom, we'll divide by the 3 feet per yard conversion, and that's going to give us 8 yards. And so the correct answer here, everybody, is answer choice C. Not B, not D. Those were both trick answers. Very close if you picked either of those. But there we go. The answer is C, 8 yards, and hopefully we take these lessons and just apply them to the next one and the next one after that.